XRP price is slowing down. It is correcting. And as the market corrects, what happens? The pain, the fear, the uncertainty, everything comes in. Instead of looking at the macro picture, we are testing through a level of resistance. The week still has a day more to go and close. What got closed is the monthly. And the monthly certainly shows you we closed above the level of resistance which we had to do. We did that. Now we are coming back down to retest that level. And that is going to be an exceptionally great idea to look back at the history that we see. We break that on a monthly, we come back down. So we tested the moving average, we failed. Yeah, we tested the moving average, we failed. We're coming back down to the exact support, which is the previous resistance. So we need to see a bounce from there. That is what we are looking at. So you keep that support level there, then you zoom in. Then you go in and you're like, okay, fine. On the macro, it suggests you like somewhere close to 0.475 as a level of strong support. Now, on the short-term volatility, now we want to know like, okay, what's going to be the standard deviation for that, right? The candle close on the daily here is 0.465. So you may still get some more volatility in that range. Now wait for the next day, it just is starting, but what we understand right now is the last corrective movement here is 15%, say close to 16. Right now, we are at 12. So if we do something similar, we're going to come to the exact same range before we bounce off. Now, this is not that normal thing. It is a bullish thing. Because if you are looking at what was normal for last couple of years, you would be like, okay, we go up, we come back down. That has changed. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We talked about this in yesterday's video. We did detail about ICX and what it's doing. Right now, when you look at the market and look for what assets are performing well enough, you see ICX on that list. That's actually really good to see because we were talking about ICX when it was 0.25, then earlier today it actually went up. Then while I was making this, it was like 0.278. Right now at 0.314, it's still going up. So identifying the pattern, short term, medium term, and macro targets are going to be really, really important because we also know, like we talked about this possibility of SXP, and what happened? It broke higher. Then we were like, okay, that happened. We got the volume. What next is this? And right now you go into the market and you look at XXP, it's 0.7. So now it's working towards the macro targets. You hit the short term, you kind of hit the short to medium term. Now you're going for the medium to long term. Things are changing. You are looking for bullishness entering the market. You cannot deny that fact. Then you go on, look at this. Ether is slowly working inside this particular pattern. And especially for last 3-4 days, we are going to the upside. We are testing the resistance. Remember, we had this thought process clear, detailed here in the video too. One of the possibility, which is the most bullish, is this one, right? You do this base, you go back up, break that. We didn't get that. Instead, we got this one, which we talked about like, okay, the worst case if Bitcoin slows us down, we're going to come back down and bounce. Now, that's exactly what's happening in the market. Now, why am I showing you guys this? Because when you look at Ether, showing you the possibility that it can run to the upside, 8 to 10%, that means when you look at XRP Ether, to understand the cross, we'll use currency for here because XRP is a currency. Ether is not an efficient currency, but for the time being, we'll put that. For here, we are breaking to the upside. So that means you got a horizontal level which you broke. Now you're going to retest that. And then if you connect the trend lines, you got another break here. So right now the market is showing you the trend is changing. You're breaking back to the upside. You are testing this level of previous resistance. Great. So we need a retest and we are coming back down for a retest. Look at the RSI. It made a clear base before it went up. While that base was being made, what was happening? The price was dropping. That means a bullish divergence was already in the RSI. Then the price took off. So RSI actually gave you the idea that it is running up. Now, this is the first level of retest and this is the second level of retest. So you can literally look for like, okay, 3 or 4, and then the priority should be a level which has been a previous resistance and a support. So I would say like, okay, even though we have all those, we may come back down to 47, which would be the time when Ether is moving up. So even when the price of Ether is going up, XRP shows you the possibility that it is going to burst. So first, XRP is going to correct. When Ether is going to go up, I think that's going to be how the market is going to react. And you literally go into the short-term scenario of XRP and it shows you, okay, fine, we got an engulfing candle, which is slowly erasing the previous bulls and the recent run up. Great. So what are we looking at? On the short-term narrative, zooming in, we kind of see like, okay, we had a picture here. We broke that. We went up. Now we need to come back down and test the moving average. Now here we are using a 21-day moving average on a 3-day. But as we zoom in, say this is a daily, which kind of is a little bit tough support. By the time the price reaches close to 0.46, 0.47, it's going to be the primary level, which we are looking for. Right now, when you enter into the macro, say at least on a weekly, you still know the fact that the weekly RSI is pointing you to the upside. Now, you can use different tools for this. You can use different arguments. Say Bitcoin dominance is showing you that it is about to correct to the downside most likely because the RSI is going to the downside. MACD has crossed to the downside. It is showing you that possibility it can drop. I'm not saying all the way back down to zero. I'm saying it can have these corrections, which means alts are going to run higher. And that's what we are looking forward to, right? Now, take the same argument, go back here, the macro, fine? And we want to look for XRP macro on different levels. Say, for example, we take XRP here and we go on to a weekly chart and then use, let's say for the time being, Ranko charts. It's really effective. The Ranko chart, what it does is it's not actually time sensitive. So you need a ton of patience to use this. And it is price sensitive. So it's showing you, even before the next candle closes, it kind of gives you the idea that way it is going. So right now it shows us that it is trending higher. And the range here to keep it green is 0.45 to 0.49. So even if we are coming back down to 0.45, which is a little bit lower than what we discussed in the candlestick chart, it still is bullish. Now that's actually a hard thing because if you are going in with leverage, that's going to be a hard part. Then you zoom in, you see like, okay, the daily candle is showing you, okay, we are going down, and which kind of matches up with the weekly showing it is about to correct back lower. Now, when you enter here on the Heikinashi end, what you're looking at is a red candle, which revalidates what we just talked. We're going to come back down. How low is the question? Right now, the 4-hour is still red. You're going down. The moving average is pointing you to the downside. You go on a hourly chart. It is again, the price is below the moving average. Each time the moving average come to hit the price gets rejected. If that is the case, that means the price is going lower. That's why this target is not bad. But if there is a change in this from the price, if the price bounce from here and break the moving average above, now the final confirmation should be from the 4-hour. Because we already know on a daily, on a macro, we have the support here. So if we are bouncing back up, it can be a short-term level. You break this to the downside. Now we are going back up to retest that. You may even get rejected. So you may then come back down. Now you take this to a candlestick pattern and you can actually put an argument saying, okay, we are observing a pattern like this. Most likely we may come down here. or we may bounce from here. It doesn't matter. If we come back down to this range, I think that is going to be healthy, because a lot of people who didn't get the first ride to the upside, close to 0.6, they're going to buy back here, considering that this is a long-term level, which is something interesting for everyone in the XRP community. Now, that being said, you go look at the Bitcoin and then the altcoin segment to get a little bit more clarity. Now, right now, the Bitcoin is still consolidating in one level. It's showing you like it's uncertainty. It's moving up, it's moving down. It's not doing much. But when we actually, now that's on a short-term chart. When we actually move on to a macro chart to see like, okay, what the hell really is happening in the price? We know the fact that we broke to the upside and we have not yet retested that particular level. We need to come back here and bounce, and this is not happening as of now. Right now, it's just boring, and that's the hard part. But look at the volume. We had a lot of selling volume, but sellers didn't manage to push the price to the downside. And that was last week. This week is about to close in next 24 hours. Let that be clear. In next 24 hours, you're going to get a daily and a weekly close. And right now, with a little bit of volume compared to the previous candle, you have a longer bullish structure compared to the last candle. So the last volume and price action and the current one shows you bulls are trying to take control back. They are trying to push this higher, and we need to see how high it can actually go. But the reality, again, my opinion, would be like, okay, it would be really healthy for the price to come back down here, shake out some of the weak hands, let a lot of people take profits as it starts to drop, and then go back up. That is going to be a healthy level. But again, yeah, when we move on to the macro structure, we clearly understand that, okay, monthly on a Bitcoin is like this. You broke to the upside, you may come back down, or you may first go test the moving average, which is going to be $32,000, and then come back down. Both of these cases, I think, is bullish. Because if your time horizon is not next 10 days, not next 40 days, if you have more time to spend in this market, it is going to be really good. The way the market is behaving right now, it shows it is going higher. Right now, we had 28. If it drops to 25, imagine from 28 to 32 is good, but 25 to 32 is even better. Because at that time, you will see the alts running. But in the meantime, short term, you go in, you zoom in, you understand like, okay, we are not getting much of an idea from the market, rather than the market is just showing you short term, ultra short term. You zoom in and even Bitcoin starts showing you a pattern, right? And the pattern happens to be something like this. And we are like, okay, we want to first see whether Bitcoin is breaking to the upside or to the downside, because right now it's not doing anything. It is just making fun of us. Nothing else. And that is boring. Because if we get a break to the upside, it's really good. But if we are getting a break to the downside, that means you're coming back down to somewhere near this level. And that would be the time when the Bitcoin dominance is dropping. Now, this is a 4-hour chart. It still shows you like there is a lot of possibility that Bitcoin dominance can go to the downside. As we discussed on the macro, it is still valid. Now, when that happens, you're going to see a lot more altcoins popping. Right now, we are already observing some of these coins starting to burst higher. Now, we had some of the call earlier, say in SHIB, ZIL, Doge, and right now we see them slowly breaking, slowly grinding higher. This is positive. And if we are looking for opportunities in the market and trying to understand what is the structure, where is your short-term target, where is your medium-term target, and the updates as it goes through, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. And it's not only that. When you actually get to learn how these patterns are formed, and you have the ability to anticipate, okay, this seems to be a higher odds. Let me look for that. Because the opportunities does not come every now and then, and it does not stay there for everyone. Last time when XRP went up like this, it was that duration where you had to take the right decision. And initially, the market just showed you something like this. It was just volatile. It always reached back to that support before it actually went massively crazy, right? Right now in the market, XRP is doing this. RSI is already showing you that pattern has been broken. You are moving to the upside. So last time when that showed, it was here. We came back to retest that. That's great. We bounced back up. Right now, we didn't get the retest yet. We are still showing you the upside. So first thing you have to ask is like, okay, the price is above the weekly. We are about to get another weekly close, which means the weekly chart is going to turn to the upside in terms of the moving average. Then you zoom in, you start going up. The moving average on the 3-day is now pointing you to the upside. So the short-term volatility, it doesn't matter much, because when you have a trend line like this and the price action is showing you that I'm going up, I'm coming back down, I'm going up, I'm coming back down, it does not matter whether you are going through entire ride like this or you're just waiting because you know it's going up. You don't want to jump out. Remember, we had the exact same discussion last time when XRP was going up. Remember, this was the pattern. And what happened? You go up, you come back down. You go up, you come back down. You repeat that again and again and again until you fail at the structure. Once you're getting rejected, yeah, that's a little bit tight, right? We can capitulate. That is the history. The price action shows us. And that's one of the reasons why we took some profits here. We took some profits here. We were able to get some out at that top. Right now, just look at the market. Go to a daily, at least. Don't go zoom in on 4-hour or anything lower than that. It is going to be really hard to get a trend line. It is going to be really hard to even understand what's happening. On the horizontal step, it's clear. You get the level of previous resistance, support turning into a resistance, and right now the price is testing that range. Agreed. Now, what we want to see right now is that the lows here is moving like this. So if the price is actually able to get above that and bounce through, it is going to be interesting. So this is the first level. We put a parallel level here and say like, okay, this is where we are. We need to first see a breakout, and if that breaks higher, you get to see a measured move of 75%. Let's see how the price is going to evolve, because in the meantime, there's going to be volatility in the market, right? We just talked about what the 3-day structure does in the moving average. Right now, look at what the daily does. You go back in history, the recent past, because now, yes, we agree that XRP has done this factor. 100%. That's the truth. I've been there in the market during this time. But what I would like to highlight is the market evolves, the market change. It rhymes, but there will be some variations in the market, right? A lot of new people came in, the emotions are different, the psychology works different. And that's why looking at the recent past, we are able to see that the price does these kind of structure before it slowly bounces. And then if the moving average is still pointing you to the upside, that means you still have some upside. You're going to at least retest that range before you're going to get rejected. That is the history. That means here, either you're going to make another high or at least retest that. And if you're going to fail at the moving average, you're going to see that. Because this is a daily chart. You're not going on a weekly, monthly to look for that. Right now, you're saying, okay, I understand the fact that the moving average, just the moving average, right? It is moving like this, putting in a higher low and at the same time breaking this structure. So the moving average showing you that it is breaking to the upside means for me, I'm like, okay, the moving average is anyway moving up. The price may actually play with that stuff. It can go above this like this, go down, go higher, come back down, go back up. Volatility is going to be our friend if we try to understand what exactly is happening in the market. But yes, I know the market is uncertain. Everyone has a lot of different thought process here. But unless we invalidate the structure, this is bullish. The measured move, even for the short-term structure, is super bullish. Because if you look at the long term, you'll go, super hyper bullish actually, because this is what we are observing. So right now, let's first get the short-term move, and then say we are going for a major correction. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, if you are looking for something like this on various assets as they move higher, you can look at the link given in the description below. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye-bye.